Hi, everyone. I'm delighted to be here again with another one of our amazing awakened authors. I love this lady so much. We've been friends for a long time, and we're probably going to laugh a lot on this interview. Diana Wolfe has written an inspiring chapter in our multi-author book called Resilience, Turning Struggle into Strength. And I would just love to welcome her, and I'd just love to hear a little bit about you, Di. Welcome.
Thanks, Gav. Thank you very much. And yeah, so I live on the north coast of New South Wales. I've just gotten back from a trip to see my daughter in Edinburgh and traveled the Scottish Highlands. So I'm still feeling that travel bug and that travel vibe. And yeah, I live very quietly and love that. I love to write. I love to make art, walk the dogs, just a simple existence. And that's me, mate. That's me.
And I love it when you come to visit us from the North Coast because you always bring your little gifts and your
Yes,
creativity.
my
And
little maid things.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're beautiful. And I love putting
Well,
them around our
gifting
life.
is my love language, gifting's
Well,
my love language. So
oh,
that's how I
okay. Now that I
express
know
myself.
that, if I ever
Yeah.
need to know that, I now know your love language. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And writing's the second, yeah, it's the second tier. Actually, it's interesting because I love to make things and paint and create things. I actually find it really hard to write in cards for people. I don't know why that is. It's so bizarre. Yeah.
wow.
So I'd
Oh,
rather
that,
make something and give it than, write some loving words.
yeah,
Because
wow. Well, on my side, I know always accepting those gifts and looking at them. I know that they're special because they're made with love. So thank you so
thanks,
much.
Gav. You're
So look,
welcome.
we had a conversation. We had many conversations, but this one was specifically around the book, and I shared with you the vision and the direction, and the kind of next phase of some exciting things that we were doing. So I just wanted to, can you share what resonated with you that kind of helped you to decide to become a published author and share your story?
Well, when you proposed it to me and you told me that the book was going to be about resilience, uh, I felt I felt like I resonated with that because there have been, like in everybody's life, those moments and those experiences that I've needed to move through and that have helped me grow. And so, because that spoke to me, that was the first indication that that was something I'd like to do. And also because I have been journaling pretty much my whole adult life. I've studied writing. I love to express myself through writing, except writing cards for people. And and so yeah, that it was something that I thought, oh, I could do that. I didn't think too much about it. I just thought, oh yeah, that felt right. And so I said yes. And so the journey began.
Awesome. And like I loved your story. Like
Thank you.
it
Thank you.
it really I know that we're friends and it could I might be biased here, but like really it just showed your skill
Oh,
the skill that you have. And so
thanks, Gav.
I'm honored. I'm excited and honored that that I'm actually part of the thing with you in regards to writing. I'm part of this journey as well. So once
Yeah.
you were kind of into the writing, did any, and obviously you're a writer and you have that experience, was there any surprises or anything, popped up that you didn't expect along the way?
I think the first thing was that I chose to write in the present tense, in the first person, which is not kind of ordinarily how I approach writing, except for in the journal. But even in a journal, I tend not to write about this present moment, more about my thoughts and feelings. So by writing from that perspective, that first person perspective, and keeping it as present as possible, I felt I was reliving it, and I, I could kind of get a sense of what it was like for me from who I am now. So it sort of was like a time travel experience for me, and I found that I remembered just little details that you know, like memory is for me is very visual. But they're like just little things like the jacaranda trees that I remembered, and the sense in the air and that kind of thing that I don't think I would have been able to access if I had have written sort of in the third person, or like as a memory from now. I was sort of writing it as though I was experiencing it. That was an interesting, yeah, that was interesting for me. And I hope
Yeah,
that
okay.
it helped, like you and other people who read it feel like they're kind of there. That was kind of what I
Oh,
was.
absolutely. When I read it, I was like, you're taking me on a journey. And there was a movie that lit up inside of my mind. And it was like, no, I don't want to share anything now because it's in the book, but it was like I was walking down that corridor. I'm not going to say any more.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that,
know the
that,
corridor
that
you're talking about.
yeah, that
Yeah,
corridor. But
that corridor.
I felt like I was there. I felt like I was
Fantastic.
there. I felt like I was there with you, but I don't know if you were there, but I felt like I was there. So,
Great.
but now that
Great.
you've completed it, like, how
Yeah.
do you feel about it? Now that's done, how do you feel?
Well, completion always brings a sense of relief, of course. And I don't know that I felt emotionally triggered by what I was writing. I feel quite, you know, okay about the whole situation that I was writing about. Having finished it, it's just another, I suppose, another way that I feel a sense of moving forward in my life, you know. So I've written the story, now I'm going to share it. Only the people really close to me know much of the details about that. So it kind of is a little liberating to feel that perhaps there are others out there who are having similar kind of experiences or facing similar challenges. And if they can jump into the story um, like you did when you were there and feel it, then even if it just brings a sense of not being alone in a similar situation, yeah, that feels great to put that out there. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, awesome. There seems to be a real common theme with all of the authors that are sharing this commonality. Is that a
Yeah,
word? A
yeah,
commonality of their experience and completion and kind of healing and
yeah.
it making a difference and so forth. So, what would
Mm.
you say to someone who may be sitting on the fence, or someone who feels they have a story, or might be concerned about what will people say, or no one will listen to me, or maybe they've tried it before and they weren't able to complete it? What would you say to them?
Well, I think part of what makes this particular book and the way that you've set up writing it so valuable is that because, of course, we all have our story, we all have um, experiences.
Don't we
Um,
all?
Yeah, and even as an experienced writer, I felt quite comfortably guided by the way that you'd structured the little exercises and the suggestions for how to progress with the chapter. And so, you know, if there's somebody who has a story they feel they'd like to share, but feel maybe they don't have the skills to share that story, this is a perfect platform because there's plenty of guidance and structure if that's what you need. Sometimes I didn't need it and I just did my own thing. But when I did feel I needed a little bit of shaping or structuring, I found that it was there for me. And I thought that was really great. So I'd just say, yeah, if you feel like you've got a story you'd like to share, you don't feel like you could just do it yourself, this is a great way to, yeah, get that story out there for sure.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Diane. That's some
Okay.
fantastic feedback, especially from someone that is such an experienced writer. We're looking forward to the launching of the book. We're looking forward to this message and, the vision and the direction hitting the right people that it needs to hit, and it really making a big difference. And, we're honored to have you as part of the community.
Thanks, Gav. Thanks a
Look
lot.
forward to speaking to you soon.
Okay. Thank you. See you
See you,
later.
Di. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.